friends to our YouTube channel Kalyani E Education. Today we will cover the topic metal and its properties, mainly physical properties, okay? And at the last of the video we will discuss MCQs. This topic lies in our chapter 3rd and textbook science NCERT class 10th. Both CBSE and MPBOARD student can watch this video. This is our video's part first. Let's start. Metals. Metals are the elements that conduct heat and electricity and are malleable and ductile. Metals are those elements that have quality of conduct heat and electricity as well as malleable and ductility. Okay. Examples: iron, aluminium, silver, copper, gold, platinum, lead, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, etc. These are some kind of metals, that is brass, aluminium, cast iron, copper, steel, metal salts, bronze. Some another quality: metals are the elements which form positive ions by losing electrons. Thus metals are known as electropositive elements. We can also identify metals by this quality, that metals usually losing their electrons, that in the outer orbit of a atom they lost their electrons. That's why they called electropositive elements. Physical properties of metals: hardness. Most of the metals are hard except alkali metal of group first of a periodic table. Alkali metals such as sodium, potassium, lithium, etc. are very soft metals, and this can be cut by using a knife. Mostly metals have a quality of hardness, but some metals like a sodium, potassium, lithium, these are all exceptions. These can also be cut by only using a knife. These are very soft. Next quality: state. Metals are solid at a room temperature except for mercury. Mercury usually found in a liquid form. Whether are remaining all metals found in a solid form. Sound. Metals are produce a ringing sound, so metal are called sonorous, and sound of metal is also known as a metallic sound. This is the cause that metal wires are used in making musical instruments. So this is another quality, that metal can produce ringing sound, that's why they call sonorous, and sound of metal is known also as a metallic sound, and that's why we use metal wires in our musical instruments. Next, strength. Most of the metals are strong and have a high tensile strength. Because of this, big structures are made using metals such as copper and iron, except sodium or potassium, which are soft metals. So, exception like a sodium and potassium can't handle the weight and the shape of that structure we want to form, but other metals like a copper and iron have the strength that they can be changed and converted into a big structure, and they will remain the same. Conduction. Metals are a good conductor of heat and electricity. This is the cause that electric wires are made of metals like copper and aluminium. So it means that the metals have a quality of good conductor like a heat of and electricity. They allow to pass heat and electricity through their molecules, and by this process they called good conductor. Next quality: malleability. Metals are malleable, and this means metal can be beaten into a thin sheet. Because of this property, iron is used in making big ships. Actually, this is the quality that found in the metals. We can beat metal and convert into a thin sheet. You can see the picture where with the using of a hammer we converted into a coin. Ductility. So metals are ductile, and this means metals can be drawn into thin wire. Because of this property, a wire is made of metals. So by this process we can convert a metal into a wire, and whenever any substance have this quality you can identify them by the metals. Melting and boiling points. Metals have a generally high melting and boiling points, except sodium and potassium metals which have low melting and boiling points. Why we need to melt or boil any metal? Because we can't use the metal in which form we mine it, because we need to change it in our favorite shape, like any kind of utensil or antique piece. So we need to melt it and convert it into a liquid, and after that we can shape it. Okay, so generally all metals have a high melting and boiling points, but exception same here, sodium and potassium and another some also. Density, most of the metals have a high density. You can see the figure. Atoms are packed close together in a metal, right? Color, most of the metals are gray in color, but gold and copper are exceptions, and also they are very shiny, and usually they have all approx same color, but copper and gold are exceptions. So let's start the practice MCQs. First MCQ, which of the following properties generally not shown by the metals? इनमें से क्या प्रॉपर्टी है जो मेटल्स में नहीं होती है? इलेक्ट्रिक कंडक्शन होता है, यस. सोनरस इन नेचर होती है, यस. डलनेस होता है, यस. नहीं, शाइनी होती हैं, यही तो याद रखना है. डक्टिलिटी, यस. सो आंसर क्या होगा हमारा? डलनेस. एक्सप्लेनेशन देखते हैं. मेटल्स हैव अ शाइनी अपीयरेंस एंड नॉट डल. Thus, property of dullness is not shown by the metals. क्वेश्चन नंबर सेकंड है, द मोस्ट अबेंडेंट मेटल इन द अर्थ क्रस्ट. ऐसी कौन सी मेटल है जो अर्थ क्रस्ट पे सबसे ज्यादा पाई जाती है? तो इसका आंसर मैं बताऊंगी, और इसका आंसर है एल्यूमिनियम. क्वेश्चन नंबर थर्ड है, द पुअरेस्ट कंडक्टर ऑफ हीट अमंग मेटल्स इज. अगर क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है कि सबसे ज्यादा पुअरेस्ट कंडक्टर क्या है हीट के लिए मेटल्स में, ऑल्दो ये सारे के सारे ही हीट मेटल्स हैं, बट इनमें से कौन हीट को जल्दी से पास नहीं करने देता अपने में से? तो आंसर होगा हमारा लेड, मे भी हो सकता है मर्क्यूरी, कैल्शियम, सोडियम. क्या होगा? आंसर होगा लेड. क्वेश्चन नंबर 4, द एबिलिटी ऑफ मेटल्स टू बी ड्रॉन इनटू द वायर इज नोन एज. किसी भी मेटल को वायर में चेंज करने की क्वालिटी क्या थी? डक्टिलिटी, मलेबिलिटी, सोनोरोसिटी और कंडक्टिविटी. आई थिंक ये आंसर आपको पता होगा, और ये आंसर है डक्टिलिटी. एक्सप्लेनेशन देखते हैं. डक्टिलिटी इज वन ऑफ द प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ अ मेटल विच इनेबल मेटल टू बी ड्रॉन इनटू थिन वायर. क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, एल्यूमिनियम इज यूज्ड फॉर मेकिंग कुकिंग यूटेंसिल्स एंड विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ एल्यूमिनियम आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द सेम. ऐसी क्या प्रॉपर्टीज है कि हम कुकिंग यूटेंसिल्स बनाने के लिए एल्यूमिनियम का यूज ज्यादा करते हैं? क्या ये गुड थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी प्रोवाइड कराता है? मे बी. क्या ये गुड इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी प्रोवाइड कराता है? आई थिंक खाना बनाने के लिए इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी की ज़रूरत नहीं है, और डक्टिलिटी की तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. हाई मेल्टिंग पॉइंट होना चाहिए, अदरवाइज पता चले कुकिंग करते करते वो जो हमारा यूटेंसिल है वही मेल्ट हो जाए. सो आंसर विल बी डी. Okay, explanation. Aluminium has a good thermal conductivity and high melting point. Good thermal conductivity enable aluminium to transfer heat to the cooking materials quickly and easily. Highly melting point enable aluminium to cook at a high temperature. I hope ये वीडियो आपको बहुत अच्छा लगा होगा, and like the video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Thank you so much.